I'm convinced that social media and smartphones are just another form of MK Ultra. And if you ever read the book 1984, it kind of comes down to this conclusion: what overall does social media and iPhones do? Excuse me. Now, you don't want to really find out how many bong rips it took me to come to this conclusion, but nonetheless, that's besides the point. Think about what these cell phones do. They are the best way to surveil you. They're constantly tracking you, whether you turn it off. They constantly can listen to you. Whether you think you turn it off, it probably is still doing so. How do you think those ads are getting to you? Have you ever talked about stuff and you see the ads? That seems like an MK Ultra experiment. Now, also, think about how cultural experiments is actually led to shape society. What are most of the youth and most of the cultural relevance is brought up upon? It's social media. It's these devices. What does every single person have? It's a cell phone at the youngest of ages. And the younger the ages, the better. They're even starting to give them to kids in school, even at the youngest of ages. Instead of library books, now you can read books on ebooks. You can, instead of listening to music on records, you can listen to everything on your phone. Instead of ever having a landline, this is your phone. But it's gotten to the point where there's three things that you need in your pocket. You need your phone, your wallet, and your keys. And without your phone's number one thing, even before your wallet, the one thing you work and trade your entirety of your life for, your time and your soul and your energy. What's more important than your money? Your phone. Because what do you actually pay more attention to? What do you spend most of your time on, even more than your loved ones and the people around you? It is this thing. Now, how healthy is that? That's besides the point, because nobody cares about health, especially not over here in the West. We don't really provide a very healthy society, and we've actually made this is one of the few things besides maybe televisions that has dropped in price. Now, the brand new iPhones, the brand new Androids, the brand new, whatevers that come out, they might be a little bit pricey, but you can get a phone for damn near free. They'll literally give it to you at most places if you don't want the brand new touchscreen or new model. But if you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, it's pretty easy to get a cellular device. Which, think about what this book actually maintains. Have you ever read 1984? Have you ever actually read these books? Now, this is a book that is commonly prescribed to kids in school, and usually this is something you kind of look over. But think about what George Orwell was talking about. It still actually holds up in modern day. You actually see how we used to have, like, and before digital media, there was physical media. And now they can straight up alter some of the old episodes. Maybe if something is culturally irrelevant now, they can change it. If maybe a word they used to say now isn't commonly accepted, now they can change that amongst digital media versus the physical media. You couldn't do so, which kind of holds like a time capsule, kind of locks that in time of what's real, what's not, and what actually happened, and what history is true, and what history they want you to see, meaning they can alter history. And if they can do that, imagine what they can do now. Imagine the AI. AI has been around for probably a lot longer than what they allow us to think. This is a whole nother skepticism, and I know it might be a conspiracy theorist, but let's be honest, this whole video is it's filled, infiltrated, and fueled by bong rips. So nothing about this is not conspiracy theory. This isn't all conspiracy theory related, okay? Give me a break. I'm sorry for burping, okay? But this is what it is. I do want to say that I think this theory does hold up, though, because how much of your life is affected by technology? I mean, think about how you spend your time. How much of your day is on a screen? Your alarm clock is, you probably wake up for work with some technology. You probably cook your food with a device that takes electricity. Most stoves are electric power. There are some gas stoves, but it's kind of in the past. Maybe you use a microwave. A lot of places, you might not like to believe this, but even a lot of restaurants, a lot of fast food places, they use microwaves. Now, it's very common, and I'm not saying this is inherently something to look down upon, something wrong with this, but you have to think about how every single thing is now related to technology. And it's almost like an MK Ultra experiment being drifted amongst the public. And think about most technology was actually a government, military funded experiment first. Have you actually looked at some of these backlogs of how Facebook was actually invented, of how some of these certain sites were invented? It's a whole different meaning besides what they initially led you to think. Now, who's in control of all this? Who knows? Although we probably all know. But we can discuss this down below in the comments. Now, do you personally feel like that MK Ultra never fully ended? That there's no really way to prove it, but there's also no way to prove that it didn't. Do you think they just kind of switched it up and drifted it amongst the public? And now you might say, Josh, MK Ultra was more about like LSD and like drug-induced experiments, but what do they actually based social media off of? They base these algorithms, these short form videos, off of slot machines, which is inherently a same type of effect that your mind gets altered while you're on a drug. It is a dopamine receptors that are getting affected by adrenaline and dopamine. Now, so do you personally feel like this is shaping society, shaping generations, and shaping the public community and overall life? I definitely would think so. Especially how advertisements, it is true that, most companies, if they pump an ad in front of your eyes so many times, you will eventually bite. You will buy the ad. You will purchase said ad. Now, is this something that I think is good for the community? I don't know. But does it work? It is proven to do so. And you might not believe in science, you might not believe in studies, you might not believe in religion or anything else. You might not even believe in yourself. But a lot of this stuff does seem to work, and humans are not as different as I like to believe they are. And if you put your ego aside a bit, you might seem to realize that you might be just as brainwashed as a lot of the other people around you. Maybe not in the ways that you can notice them, but you're probably brainwashed in ways that you don't notice. And that might be the MK Ultra experiment of society.